Rev up your engines!
Well, I was just reading an article in the New York Post, and I found it interesting. They're talking about the myth of the green revolution, right? Biden are all saying, oh, we're green, we're changing, blah, blah, blah. Here's the truth. It isn't really happening very fast. Even though from 2004 to 2022, $4.1 trillion was spent on wind and solar power. But during the same period of time, global hydrocarbon use, oil, gas, and coal, it increased by 110 exajoules. That's a lot of energy. So oil and gas increased by 110 exajoules during that period of time. Well, wind and solar only increased 32 exajoules. So it's not decreasing, it's actually increasing. As I say in the article, and I quote, it took a global pandemic and months of draconian restrictions on commerce and movement to dent the march of hydrocarbons. And then after 2020, it went right back up again, the use of hydrocarbons. So you see these things that people are talking about, it's a spit in the bucket. They're trying to act like it's doing something. It really isn't doing much of anything whatsoever, other than the politicians' lips are flapping more than usual, and they're all smiling about how green everything is, while they sweep everything else under the carpet. I mean, that Moore movie, all the green people got mad at him because he showed what a farce the green was, and Michael Moore's guy is sitting in Flint. It's Earth Day, and the guy's on the stage saying, oh, this Earth Day, it's all powered by the solar panels 2 blocks down the street in Flint, Michigan, right? And then the camera guy follows the wires going to the stage, and they go to 2 giant diesel generators, and the guy says, what's this? And the guy working there says, well, these are the 2 diesel generators that power this whole thing. Don't listen to it. It's a lot of horse manure. Make GM great again says, should I buy this Bentley? I am looking at a 2005 Bentley Continental GT with 101,000 miles for $19,000. I don't know Bentleys. What did you say? Should I get one? Well, if you've lost your mind, go ahead and get one. Or if you're independently wealthy and money means nothing to you, go out and get one. But then again, if money meant nothing, you wouldn't be buying a used Bentley. They are one of the biggest money pit cars in the world, the Bentleys. Now, I guess it's in with the rappers. They always have to find something new. Now, they like Bentleys, right? Doesn't make any sense, but truthfully, don't buy that car unless you want a lawn ornament to park on your lawn. Those things cost a fortune to repair. They're very hard to get parts for in the United States. I'm assuming you're in the United States. Now, if you're in England and you know an English mechanic that works on them, you might have it as kind of a toy, right? The English put up with all kinds of stuff. Lousy weather, politicians that just tax you until there's nothing left to tax. Good luck if you're in England. I mean, then you don't have any money left anyway, so what the heck? Why not get a Bentley? The government will take it from you otherwise. Interpon says, I got a Honda Pilot, brand new. I changed my own fluids. I've changed transfer case fluids before, but Honda manual says, do not service yourself. Take it to the dealer. I don't understand why. The main thing is, you have to use the right fluid. Those Honda transfer cases use a very special fluid, right? Just go to the Honda dealer and buy the fluid and do it yourself then, right? You don't want to mix another fluid, and they're saying you mix another fluid, you can destroy it, which is true, it might. You go to the Honda dealer, you buy the fluid yourself, and you can do it, drain it out, whatever comes out, measure it, and put that back in. They're just saying it because it's a special fluid, right? They just want to scare you. You just want to use the correct fluid, that's all. And you've changed them before in your other vehicles. Just go right ahead and do it. I do it like it's a transfer case, every 40, 50,000 miles, right? It's easy enough to do. Just make sure you use the Honda fluid. They're very specific about that. Here's another one. This time it's at a Ford dealer. Richard sends an email. He buys his fancy Ford, a 2023 F-150 XLT pickup. He requested and paid $610 for the premium audio system, 8-speaker system. So he picks up the truck, and it doesn't sound that good. So he took the speakers out of the door, and here's what he found. He found that he had cheap, regular Ford speakers in the vehicle. They weren't what he paid for. He was supposed to have a fancy amplifier and a subwoofer. He looked. The amplifier is just a stock, cheap Ford one that's made in Mexico. And he sent an email to Bang & Olufsen, and they said, don't blame us. Go to the dealer that you paid the money to. Bang & Olufsen said, and I quote, you need to get in touch with the dealership regarding this question, as we do not officially support this anymore. Bang & Olufsen has been taken over by another company in May 2015. He paid $610. He didn't get anything extra. They just lied to him. Now it comes to the point that you buy something, you pay for it at the dealer, You got to check yourself to see if you actually got it. He didn't even get what he paid for. They took a $610 extra and they gave him a crappy sound system with most of the parts made in Mexico. So far, the Ford dealer hasn't done anything for him. I suppose they will now that I brought this out in the open. They'll probably say, oh, we're so sorry. They haven't done it yet, but maybe they will after this video comes out. Well, here's something to watch out for. The finishing expert. If you're buying a car, Dave Ward sends me a letter from Peterborough, Ontario, and you can't make this stuff up. My gripe for today, formerly finance and insurance person. One was actually called finishing specialist. They're the ones who are the polished smooth talker who want to sell you extended warranties or a worthless electronic rust proofing module for $8 to $100. This is where they really make their money. I never buy it, but I couldn't believe that they actually have a finishing specialist now. Yeah, watch out. They're always trying to sell you extra crap, right? My favorite is, we'll ceramic coat your car, right? Hey, it's a brand new car that's painted and sealed. It should be perfectly fine, but then they try to sell you this BS, oh, it's ceramically coated. Well, spraying some crap on the outside of it isn't going to really do anything. Okay, you got paint, and there's the clear coat on top of it. It's already there, right? You spray something on it. There's no real ceramic bond going on there. It's just another buzzword to sell you stuff, just like their extended warranties that when something does break, they say, well, we're sorry. The extended warranty doesn't cover that part because you didn't read the small print on page 77 that said, basically, we're not going to fix anything for free. Next says, I have a 2009 Honda Civic. A guy told me these normal repairs are the value of the car. They say that it needs brakes, spark plugs, and a couple maintenance items, and that it needs the right front control, bushing, and recommend 2 lower control arms assembly. The total is $5,000. Is it worth spending this? And the value of the car is about that. There's no way that you pay that kind of money for that kind of work. Go somewhere else. The guys really charge you for a bunch of stuff that you may or may not even need. I mean, it's a 2009 Honda Civic. It's not all that old. I got a 2007 Matrix. Still runs like a clock. Doesn't need any of those parts, right? So go ask your friends who they use as a mechanic. And I've often seen guys, this guy wants like $5,000 to work. I've seen guys do that same work for maybe $1,500. You can get aftermarket parts. You don't have to go to Honda to buy control arms. There's many aftermarket companies out there that make perfectly good control arms, and you can get all that work done. It's just bolting stuff on and off if you want. Watch my videos. Most of those parts you just bolt off, bolt on. You could easily do it yourself with simple hand tools. And any mechanic that's a good mechanic that knows the stuff could honestly show you here, well, we should do this first. This is the more dangerous. You can work on doing this other stuff over time. And if you don't care, we can get aftermarket parts. You can get aftermarket brakes and rotors. They don't cost that much at discount auto parts stores, and they work perfectly fine. Start with another mechanic or try to do it yourself. I would fix it. Those are excellent cars. I think you're just getting taken for a ride. I see that all the time, too. Try to find a more honest guy who isn't so outrageously priced and get another opinion on what you actually need. I've had people bring me cars like that. I look at them, I say, if you want to spend $300-400 doing some brake work, go ahead. The rest of the stuff is still perfectly strong and stable, and there's nothing wrong with it. Well, finally, Tesla says they just produced the first hybrid truck on their assembly line in Austin, Texas. Are they going to fall apart? Are people going to buy that many of them? Now, people are stupid, so a lot of people will buy them because they want to get the newest thing. The people that a new iPhone is out, I got to buy a new one. My old one doesn't brush my teeth like the new one does, right? So there's always fools out there that are going to buy stuff like that. So they'll certainly sell a certain amount of them. But let's see how they hold up. And no more people are going to buy them because the people that wanted them bought them. And the ones that broke probably get people mad. And so they'll hit a glass ceiling. It always happens with cars. If something new comes out, they sell the heck out of them. But then they hit the glass ceiling where nobody else wants some stupid looking thing like that. It's not really a truck. You take a look at it, it doesn't really have a big giant bed or anything on it. And from what I read, it doesn't even have a little tunnel that's supposed to go in the middle so you can fit longer things. They rushed this thing in production because people say, well, when's it going to come? When's it come? So now it's out. Like I say, people will buy them. People will buy anything when it first comes out. You know, we'll see if it has any staying power. Like the Toyota Corolla where they sold over 50 million, the Volkswagen Beetle. Let's see how it really pans out. Well, Elon's at it again. Check it. Look, that's one of his Terminator machines he wants to build. Now he's saying he's going to build artificial intelligent robots and they'll do all the work. He's read too many science fiction novels, right? And then people can do physical work only if they want to, you know? They can all go on their Pelotons or they can garden for fun, but they won't have to work actually doing things with their hands. The robots will do it all. Well, I don't know, but to me that looks awful like one of the Terminator robots. This is Elon's solution. He says, you know, there's a labor shortage in this country now, so let's build robots instead. Okay, who's going to build the robots if there's a labor shortage? He already tried building his cars with robots in the beginning and it failed. And he ended up hiring people to work in tents to build them. So that was a dismal failure. I mean, he thinks he's going to have an army of robots doing everything because there's a labor shortage, right? Hey, I don't want to build an army of Terminator robots. I don't like the idea of Elon controlling the Terminator robots. Or maybe he'll make a copy of himself as an Elon Terminator robot and put his artificial intelligence into it, you know? And then he can work if he wants to. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.